Get ready to kick off your week with Weeksauce. And if you enjoy this show, find more podcasts like it over at amove.tv. Go to hell, Monday. Hi, Kyle.
Hi, Garrett.
Switching it up this week. I'm tired and cranky.
It's your turn. It's your turn. Last week was me. Now it's you.
I'm tired and cranky.
I'm here to help. I'm here to help.
This Monday can go straight to hell. I got a vacation coming up soon. I'm done. I'm out.
That will make it all the worse.
I've been sleeping great, man. I've been on a wonderful sleep schedule. I've been in bed at like an adult bedtime, waking up before 9 a.m., ready to go start the day. And last week, like 2 days last week, just couldn't sleep.
The heat getting to you?
No, this is actually the best summer we've had, I think, probably in my entire life.
Ooh.
The weather is nicer than California at the moment.
Does that murder the bugs in Florida?
No. But mosquitoes, you really only need to worry about them at dusk, so you can avoid them most of the time.
That's true.
Just don't go enjoy the sunset.
I mean, it is hot in a lot of places, and California does dictate quite a bit of how the internet feels, I think.
At least in our circle, because,
Yeah.
we tend to cover a lot of things that are made in California.
Right. So it's hot summertime, and you got to take everything with a grain of salt when you're looking at it online.
Yeah, everyone's grumpy. We're a world of sweaty grumps right now.
Yep. Laying under their fans, not needing that AC the rest of the year, but dying. I mean, it's beautiful here. It's like 73 most days here in Washington.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's getting back to normal July weather. Like today, it's 89, for example, and I'm sure we have about 60% humidity. I didn't check. Let me see. Holy crap! I'm 1% off. 59% humidity.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but like last week, man, we just got a bunch of rain, and instead of it being humid afterwards, it was actually kind of nice, and there was a breeze. It was lovely. We went and saw The Incredibles 2 on a weekday last week, and it was just pouring, just torrential rain. We did Angry Chicken on Tuesday. We went out Tuesday night to go see The Incredibles, and if you were watching Angry Chicken live, my power went out in the middle of the show. Because the thunder and lightning was so completely bananas. And so we go see the movie anyway. By the time we come out, rain was completely gone. It's the evening, and it's actually a little cool. It was like down in the 70s, which is completely unheard of in Florida.
Did you get wet going into the theater? Because that's murderous.
By the time we had gotten to the theater, we were in this patch of just like barely anything, just a little.
Okay.
Yeah, just a little sprinkling. So that was no big deal. Plus, we brought our hoodies, because the theater's cold anyway, so we were good to go. We were prepared. We've done this before. It's not our first Florida rodeo.
So it's been a while since I've seen The Incredibles 2. I guess it would be, almost a month, actually.
Yeah, you saw when it first came out. Dude, I loved it. I loved every minute of it. If you want, like, point-by-point reasons why I loved it, there's an Embrace Spoilers episode that just went up about it. Yeah, I ended up watching both Incredibles back to back, like 2 nights in a row, because I have not seen the first Incredibles since college. It has been almost 10 years, Kyle, since you and I graduated college, so it's been a while. And then the next night I went out and saw Incredibles 2, and I was just reminded that this is like my favorite Pixar property.
It's good. It reminds me of GoldenEye, and GoldenEye is my favorite James Bond movie.
Ooh. GoldenEye? With the Sean Bean falling off a satellite?
Yeah, exactly. I found his weakness, GoldenEye.
I am invincible, GoldenEye.
Invincible?
I am invincible.
Oh, is that one of the lines after that?
Yeah,
I only know the one part.
It's freaking Nightcrawler with this explodey pen, and then the CO2 or whatever opens up and freezes him.
Nightcrawler?
It's the dude who played Nightcrawler in X-Men 2.
Wait a minute. Where?
How are you confused?
I have no idea who you're talking about, Nightcrawler.
The guy that played Nightcrawler in X-Men
Yeah.
2. That's the same
Okay.
actor that is like side villain in GoldenEye that gets frozen at the end when everything explodes.
Wait, Boris?
Yes.
Okay, I thought you were talking about the Russian, the elder man, and I was like, he was not flipping around like a champion.
No. I was just trying to think of catchphrases that I actually remember from GoldenEye, and I am invincible is the only one, really.
Oh yeah. Oh, I am invincible. Yes. Okay. You
Yes.
gotta throw the arms up
Yeah.
and do the invincible. Yeah.
Yes.
Because I mean, we would do that when we were playing Super Smash Bros. When I was in middle school. Like we loved that movie, but it was also a big connecting point for me and my dad. So, that movie got quoted often.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, sorry. Alan Cumming is the actor's name. I can't think of anything else I've seen that guy in.
But you're talking about like you're trying to escape gods, and he does lets them go, but then starts shooting at them. And they run through the library and get in the tank.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Now I want to watch Can we go watch GoldenEye? Can we just stop the show now?
I mean, there's so many good scenes.
You want
the conveyor belt shootout, you blow the gas tanks, and the jump off the edge. And I mean, granted, the video game certainly elongated it and made that bathroom way more important than it ever was. But it was still a great video game.
Oh yeah. Video game goes places that the movie never even attempts. I have a very strange association or like memory of GoldenEye. I remember the first time I saw it. I think it was an N64 kiosk in a Target. People are playing GoldenEye, and I hadn't seen the movie yet, so I had no context for why James Bond was doing any of the things that James Bond was doing. And it's the end of the dam level, and he jumps off. And the N64, the graphics were shitty. There was no bungee cord. I'm like, why did James Bond just kill himself?
That's right.
That
he
was
did just jump off.
That was my first memory of GoldenEye. Was the little cutscene at the end of the dam level.
Yeah, and then you flew away. It really didn't work to fill in the holes. It just kind of did the scenes.
It just went through the paces, right?
Yeah.
But
Good stuff, though.
Oh yeah, but I mean, just life-changing game experience, right?
Sure. Not even talking about that. Like I'm not saying like, oh, like I'm literally just enjoying the moment. I was I usually played as Jaws. I wasn't the odd job guy. There's always one person in the group that was the odd job guy.
Yeah, I wasn't that guy either. I was just.
Xena was actually my favorite. I played as her a lot.
That doesn't surprise me.
When you're younger, you don't really you don't understand the sexuality. You just think she's being awesome.
I understood it. It was just
down with her foot out and just kick James Bond in the face with that, and then she jumps on it, and it's just having a great time,
That is not my read on the situation, even at that age. But fair. As I think, as has been well documented in Weeksauce, you and I had different sensibilities growing up.
Yes.
Back to Incredibles, though, by the way. Man, it was wild watching those two movies back to back, because Incredibles 1 is 14 years old. It's been almost a decade and a half since the first Incredibles, which means we've had almost a decade and a half of Pixar getting real pretty.
Yeah, it's funny how muted the first movie looks in color, even.
Yeah. And like especially the first half, like before they get to the island, it's kind of busted looking. And then Mr. Incredible gets to the island, and then I start getting impressed again because I'm like, wow, man, these are some great shots. Like even if you zoom in on individual pieces of it, it looks kind of jank, but the overall shot is just so well composed, and the action is so well directed. But like, the hair tech, man. Ooh, Dash's hair. Dash's hair looks real jank in the first Incredibles now.
Yeah, it looks like a mop for sure. And Violet's is a little too gravity dependent. I mean, there's really only one point I dislike in the whole movie. It's when the family finally rejoins, and then Dash makes a tornado for the first time. Maybe it's his first time. I don't know. And then Violet, who has just figured out how to use her shield powers, does like this eyes down, like, oh, I'm psychic face. And that bothers me so much. It drives me nutters.
Why?
Because they're so overconfident with their powers, but they've just been squashed for years and years. And I mean, I know they're finally wielding them, but she doesn't even know how she's using them. And then she makes that that X-Men I'm psychic face, you know?
I did not pick up on that while watching Incredibles 1.
Yeah, we watch when she's catching the bullets. It's a bit much. Yeah, I mean, but I feel you. I feel you. Particularly when Mr. Incredible and Frozone are running through the burning building, and he throws the bodies on his shoulder. I keep looking for one of those feet to like start wobbling a little bit, and then like get snagged on the wall, and then like start doing that like jagged, like the graphics broke kind of thing.
Like broken video game physics.
Exactly. I mean, so much. Like every time a character touches one another, I'm just like, oh, how much work did that take?
Yeah. The thing. Also, I don't think I had really a chance to mention this on the Braces Spoilers. Man, the physical comedy of just how large Mr. Incredible is, it still works really well in the first Incredibles movie. That stupid car, the cubicle, his tiny boss, all of it. It still works, even though like you're looking at it like, ooh man, Pixar movies look so much better. But like at its core, it's just comedy that is timeless.
It's just, and he's got the pillar in his cubicle there, and I've been in a cubicle job too, and just it's a very relatable thing when he accidentally breaks the plate there, and then he just starts listing off everything that's wrong, and she's like, wait, what's half this list of things that you built up?
Yeah, I was not prepared for this.
It's almost like what Brad Burr must have hid cameras around his house, and he's like, okay, at some point, I'm not saying that I like to fight, but we're gonna get an altercation with our significant other. I'm gonna film it, and then we're just gonna use that physicality and put it straight in the movie.
It's very real. The way that
hand gestures,
the way that they fight. Yeah, it's like it's too real, man. But also odd. Like, The Incredibles speaks to me a lot more now than it did when I was a kid. So I'm also kind of sitting here being like, who's this movie for? Because I don't think kids are picking up on any of this.
I mean, I still enjoyed Incredibles 1 a lot as a kid, but like the pool scene in Incredibles 2, and they're just sitting there and being like, what are we gonna do? Like, that was such a, like, hit in the chest for me, because I mean, that's basically what it was when we were both in Chicago working our full-time jobs, and we said, you want to move? You want to just do this internet thing and see if we can make it work? It was madness.
Yeah. I mean, that's it's not one-to-one analogous to what happens in The Incredibles.
No, but it's just like how did this all transpire? How did we get here? And just a fabulous real scene.
Yeah. Yeah, overall, I just thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to seeing it again. The action was so well done. So well done. I think we've had this discussion off air. Stretching is like the lamest superpower, man. And The Incredibles makes it so cool.
Yeah, they do a good job with it, using her weight on the cycle to kind of propel herself. And even in the first movie, you get to see how Mr. Incredible invades the base, and then how... is it Miss? I always get the Miss and Mrs. confused. Mrs. Incredible, is it? How she enters the base by sneaking. He, picked up the orb and threw it at the guards, where she just kind of stretched along the back to get in.
Yeah. I think it just refer to her as Elastigirl.
Yeah, that's probably easier.
But yeah, man, it's a good movie. I'd recommend it. Go see it. I still need to see Coco, apparently.
Coco is the
one you told me to see.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. I mean, you should, if nothing else, you should see it for Flight of the Conchords.
All right, sounds good. I need to catch up just on modern Pixar movies. I haven't seen much past Brave.
Okay, I can see why Brave would, like, put you out a little bit.
No, I haven't seen Brave yet either. That's like where I just kind of stopped. I randomly saw Cars 3 because it's on a plane, and I was like, why not? I actually kind of liked it, but haven't seen much since then.
Oh, yeah. So, Coco. Oh, wait. So what I'm thinking of Moana, but that's a Disney movie.
It's Disney, technically. The Disney Animation Studios and Pixar are kind of their own thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There was that... Oh, I guess the dinosaur thing was... Oh, no, it was a Pixar thing. I never saw The Good Dinosaur.
I don't think anyone saw The Good Dinosaur.
Or Monsters University.
I didn't see Monsters University. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay, yeah, Cars 2 threw me off. Yeah, that's what happened. Cars 2 came out. I hated it. And I just kind of stopped seeing Pixar movies. Because Brave was next. then Monsters University, which I haven't seen yet. The one I really want to see that I haven't seen yet is Inside Out. I've heard it's freaking amazing, and I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Pixar heartstringer, and it's, scientifically crafted to pull them heartstrings. So, be prepared for it. Coco's a little, it's got its own adventure story. It's still, it's still going to get under you, of course.
Oh, good. Good. Also, Finding Dory. Need to see that. I love the first one. Just haven't seen it yet.
Oh yeah, I did see that, actually. It's cute. Particularly if you like aquariums.
So I'm not too interested in Brave or Monsters U, but I think my catch-up list is now Inside Out, Finding Dory, and Coco.
It's a good list.
That's my catch-up list. Need to do that. Need to get to that. But what have you been up to, man?
I had a day off Friday, so I spent the whole day playing XCOM, and I defeated all the Chosen. That was awesome. Now I gotta wait like 10 days to do all the side research to maybe get to the end, possibly. But right now I'm sitting on one of those like random, investigate the downed UFO thing. And I'm like, I just beat 2 bosses back to back. I'm emotionally drained. They were great characters, and I'm sad to see them go.
So you're further than I got in that expansion.
I'm a man who likes to, I do a lot of research before I buy a game, even if there's a Steam sale and stuff. I'm just really kind of, I know I invest, and when I don't beat a game, it's because I am 100% like hurt by it. Like I was straight up like just like I can't take you anymore. Like Dishonored to me was just, it was too much. I didn't like the villains. I didn't like the demon emo man. It's like, what the heck? He could have been made of shadows. Like honestly, sometimes decisions are made that just make no sense. And I know I'm me. And then this is them making a game for them and everybody else who's a gamer. But sometimes you just look at a budget for a flick or a movie and you just go, why? Why was this made? You could have made X. You could have made this. You could have made things I liked, but instead you made this thing.
That is your go-to outrage, I feel like.
Dishonored?
No. You could have made X. Why'd you make Y?
Yeah.
And I feel like there was a good 5-year stint where any sci-fi thing that film that came out, you're like, you could have made a Mass Effect movie.
Yeah, well, I mean that's changed now too. With
I'm about to say, do you really want a Mass Effect movie, dude? Because I don't think it would be good.
No, well, and if you heard that kind of Twitter rant that the Mass Effect 3 guy went on,
I did
Mass
not.
Effect Andromeda guy.
Wait, what? I missed all of this.
Oh, yeah, it was basically like, Mass Effect would have done a lot better if there weren't other good games coming out around it. It's like, well, that's review culture, bro. Like, that doesn't save your game.
Oh, wait, for Andromeda?
Yeah, Andromeda.
You would have done better if you made a good game.
That's right. That's right. And now I'm kind of seeing that same map in Anthem. And so I'm nervous about it. But I did watch the full 19 minutes of footage they put up for it. If we were to relate my previous statements to this now, why did we film from the most boring class? I get it because it's Steadicam, right? Like tank is Steadicam. Let's do the tank. Or how about I guess it would be more of an archer because you're still range. You're not going to be in boss crotch air territory. Why are warlocks always posting their videos? Well, they're usually standing in a good area to shoot it, right? Whereas us healers, we're staring at the ground, we're staring at the space. We really don't care as long as the heal bot's on the screen. We're not filming at the moment.
I recently watched, for the first time in a very long time, a WoW gameplay video, just because I was watching some dude solo heal Mythic Argus.
Is that good?
Yes, that's the most recent raid.
Oh, he solo healed it.
Yeah.
So everyone else was deeps and tanks, but he was the one guy.
He was the one disciplined priest, just in there keeping everybody alive.
So it was basically Kharazim pro play, where nobody takes any damage, no one stands in the poop, so you don't need heals in the first place.
Well, to a certain degree. I mean, at that level, there's just straight up unavoidable damage.
True.
At that level of difficulty. But yeah, man, I haven't watched a WoW video in forever. They're really well produced now. They're actually pretty informative. It's,
They don't have 99 in the corner?
I'm sure if... 99 in the corner?
Yeah, fraps.
Oh. I was going to go with... I'm sure you can still go out and find slow motion PvP crit numbers set to some terrible metal band. But yeah, man. WoW videos have gotten good.
They're impressive. I've watched a number just to kind of see some of the Illidan stuff, the cutscenes. I Am My Scars, kind of get that story in my head because an expansion is coming out and the hype train is rolling full.
Yeah, I'm almost finished with the book.
I've heard good things, and I've heard that it is not as supplementary as I think fans would like for people who are going to just enjoy the game.
What do you mean supplementary?
It's a little too required reading if you are into lore at all.
God, I don't think so.
Yeah?
God, I disagree. Yeah, this is
Okay.
this has got to be the most boring WoW book I've read.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, it's dull. It's real dull. There's some stuff in there I'm really enjoying. Because I'm
Like doll in like a everyone's locking eyes and wanting to kiss kind of way, and you're just not into it, or
no, actually, the romance is about the only thing that I find interesting.
no,
No,
who's
there's,
romantic?
there's just a lot of they've kind of picked very briefly. There's like one chapter where they pick back up on what the hell's going on between Jaina and Kalagos, which picked up in my favorite WoW book, Tides of War. Like that's where that started. Tides of War is incredible. If you haven't read Tides of War, I recommend it. But we get like one half a chapter where it's like, oh, by the way, let's see what the hell's going on with Jaina and Kalagos, because Jaina has fallen off the face of the earth in the game. So we don't really know what the hell's going on with her. And I actually kind of got invested in that fictional relationship.
Why not Malagos? Then she get bonus spell damage.
Well, because Malagos is dead, Kyle.
Oh.
We killed him in Lich King.
Oh.
Did you not raid
Why?
Malagos?
No, why? What? Where was he?
Malagos went crazy, dude. He wanted to purge the world of all magic users that weren't his dragonkin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, no, where was he though? Like what thing?
He was on the Tempest.
The Tempest.
Or the Nexus. It was the Nexus, wasn't it? It was the raid of the Nexus. There was a 5-man the Nexus that was out in a section of Borean tundra.
Oh, that was. Oh, wait, yeah, you're talking about that thing with all the spinny platforms and the fly around and unlock the thingies and.
Yeah. I have Eternity. Thank you, True Villain Man. I completely forgot the name of the damn raid. It was like one of those really short raids where you go in and you basically just fight Malagos.
Huh. I never did that one.
Yeah, it was like you did Gruul's Lair. It was kind of like Gruul's Lair.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
like
screw Gruul's Lair.
Yeah, you've got like a mini boss and then you fight the main boss.
Yeah, well, some would say King was a raid killer.
Wait, what?
If you couldn't down King, everybody would just go raid Karazhan for the night.
Oh.
Get all pissed off, wander off.
I've been there. I've been in that group where it's like, we can't get to Gruul. Let's just go to Karazhan. Split the raid.
Karazhan was delightful.
Karazhan was so good, man.
I've continued a lot of my WoW Classic readings since last week. A lot of it is due to the fact that I've had my phone now. You know, I'm enjoying my phone, but this week it started to vex me a little bit, and so I started to go through. And it's like, well, you know, if all these news stories are upsetting you, bro, you can go and sort them. And I'm like, okay, cool. Let me tell you what I'm into. And it's like, all right, I got you. WoW forum posts. You want to see those? I'm like, sure, yeah, okay. What's that? Where's the blue post? No blue post. It's just people complaining. Oh my God, what the hell? And it's amazing. Like the amount of vitriol that people dig up on each other. Like not only like in the armory, but the amount of like investigation they'll do. Someone's like, this game's too casual. And then they'll like go through their whole profile to see how casual that person complaining about casual is, and then bring it back into their faces. It's amazing.
That is some next level lack of life.
Yeah, it's like an eyewitness book, but for an armory. It's incredible.
God.
So I continue to go back to WoW Classic because, you know, for now it's just full of nostalgia. It doesn't exist really yet, and everybody's just the nicest person on earth because they all just know what they want. They know exactly what they want, and just don't mess with it, please. It's a really positive place. Everyone's talking about like what their favorite blues are to farm and what was the best like on hit chance of 5% weapon you could have. And, you know, were spell stones and your offhand any good? Like, it's just great conversation.
Wait, this is for Classic?
Yeah, WoW Classic.
Huh. It has a active forum?
Well, people have made their own forums across because there's that Lights Hope thing going on as well as all the private servers. So there's people playing it illegally. And then there's the people who aren't playing it like myself because we don't want to play a game illegally, but we're still enjoying the conversation.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, I've been enjoying the WoW nostalgia talk. It's been it's just fun, man. It's fun. It should be fun. I'm glad that the conversations you're finding are indeed fun.
Yeah, more positive than most video game talk going on right now, which is bizarre because it's all the people who think they're the most hardcore too. So it's like this weird, comfy blankets. For now, it's going to turn into crap later, but
fun. Wow. We are in the quiet time right after E3, right? We're waiting for fall game season to land. And so right now it's a lot of sitting here being like, I don't know, overly aggressive about the thing you've spent too much time in.
Right, or even overly aggressive investigations on things that I don't want to get my hopes up on, like Cyberpunk. Where people are like, Cyberpunk's going to be just, I saw one that was like, Cyberpunk is going to be just like Doctor Strange. And I did not read that, because that is hope fodder. I'm not putting that in my brain. That's going to get my heart going.
I wish you had read that, because that makes no sense at all to me.
My guess, maybe there's like shields or maybe some portal work going on, or maybe you can do like a laser whip or something. I don't know. Yeah, but I didn't read it because that get me too invested.
All right. But it sounds like you've been getting invested in Anthem, because I know you've watched that 19-minute gameplay video they put out.
I did, yeah.
Are you opening your heart, Kyle, to hype for a new game?
Maybe. Like I was saying earlier, before I sort of fired it off on other games, it was shot from the wrong perspective for me, as what I'd want to be. And they're like, oh, and by the way, joining us late, here is the glass cannon that has infinite flight and elemental powers, but we won't be looking at that today. I'm like, what? So we have to watch a walking rocket launcher that moves at the speed of butt? And then this guy's zooming around in the background, setting up ice combos.
It's so funny, dude. This was the perspective I wanted. I wanted to see the biggest, burliest, shield-wielding brute that they had in the game. So I was sitting here with the exact opposite reaction of, oh, so this is what my gameplay is going to look like. I am in.
Totally, and like I said, like the Warlock Warcraft, whatever. It was the shot that would be proper to show people, and zooming around and moving your camera all over, and maybe they mess up their flight at one point. It wasn't worth using the footage.
Yeah, I mean, this looked intentionally slow too. There was a lot of very slow, very good manipulation of the camera to make it watchable, and that's with what I'm assuming is already the slowest moving class you can play as, but. It looks fun, man. Yeah, I've been so burnt by Destiny. I don't want to get my hopes up, but God, this game looks sad. The shooting looks really satisfying, which is concern number one. The movement looks fun as hell. Okay. Concern number two is more or less addressed. And honestly, the most excited I got was looking at the in-game map, because it looks like it's a pretty large world that's all connected, because one of my biggest gripes from Destiny is it feels like freaking Cataclysm and how kind of segmented it all is.
Yeah, and that's my big concern with Battle for Azeroth as well, with the kind of war mode that's coming out, is that it will be populated, but PvP is about seeing that name you hate and then running into them again in many ways for me. So it's going to be random populated again. So, but for Anthem, it appears that it's your world. This is your Anthem, I guess is the name of the planet or something.
I honestly have no idea where the name comes from.
It's your map. It has, for Mass Effect Andromeda fans or players, you could say it is a little bit like, whoa, it's got the things on it. It looks just like that, but it's going to be yours unless you invite other people into it. And it is a soloable game, but then you can bring people into your world and share that world. Now, if you advance your world and they haven't advanced their world and you show up in theirs, or you show up in, I'm not sure how that works yet, and I don't think they've said anything about that.
Yeah, no, they had this very kind of in the gameplay video, kind of a just a throwaway moment of, and this person's level 1, but it doesn't matter. You can always play together and gain XP. I'm like, well, wait, how does it work? Is it scaling? Is it like, and what scales?
Right, and then the level 1 person was the elementalist that was flying around that I wanted to see. But they also had an epic level grenade that they unlocked through some quest or something that they were showing off. I mean, a lot of it, the monster design there at the end, that's a full-blown alien, the eggs. There's some generic lineage, of course, going on, which makes me nervous because I want to beat co-op games nowadays. I want to defeat them. And, there's definitely that, look over there. Look out for the explosives. The computer guy is saying a lot of generic lines that I'm expecting to hear over and over again across multiple missions.
Ah, I was wondering what the hell you meant when you first said generic lines.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, well, we'll have to see. I mean, these games, they're I don't think they're looking to be as much of a something that you beat as much as something that you grind. This is
Sure.
in the vein of Destiny, which is in the vein of Diablo at the end of the day.
Exactly. But Diablo, you can still and that you kind of artificially beat it. You get to an end boss and then it has a climax and
Right. There's still
put it away if you desire.
There's still a general campaign that you can beat, and the same is true of Destiny, but the systems in there are also very much a grindable loot-based game. So, yeah. You set your own goals, Kyle. Set your own endpoint.
Exactly, and that's what Divinity 2 was a story game, and I'm hoping that this has a good enough story that if I were to sign up all my friends to play for a set amount of time, weekend, that we could defeat it and be satisfied with that outcome. Because then I'm in, and I play it, and it's got a nice kind of like Warframe sort of your ship. You hang out in your kind of walker, and those characters are yours to interact with. And when you leave your ship, that's when you become a part of the co-op world. So if you go out co-oping and then you come back and they're like, man, your suit took a lot of damage and tell me about the story and look at the map, and then we rejoin again, that's great. Because what I really, really love about co-op games that Divinity did so well was like crafting. And not that I love crafting, but it existed. And there was so much to do outside of gaining experience that when you go to town in Warcraft, I was buying reagents and making potions for the night and getting ready to play with my friends. And then when we played, I was set, and and that investment makes everything more exciting.
Yeah, giving you something to do in between your large team-based activities. The investment is the perfect word, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like prepping. Prepping for an event is fun.
Yeah, I feel like Diablo was too small in that way. Like once I dressed up, maybe I changed my look for the day, maybe I optimized my something or other, but there was no target dummy. As soon as I was ready, I wanted to head back out and grind it again. So we all kind of out-leveled each other, or we were under-leveled because someone was busy.
Yeah. I mean, Destiny's very much the same way in my mind, because it's so kind of streamlined, the way that you like hand mats in and rip things apart for resources and whatnot, and it's all happening in the same city. There's not even not even an option of capital, even though in World of Warcraft we kind of all, for the most part, end up going to the same damn place.
Well, and you know what? Props to the Division for doing that well. And maybe it's the divide in locations that really makes that enjoyable. It's riding the Zeppelin, as stupid as that is, because it takes time. I want to play for an hour without my friends. So I got to go here, and I'm going to go to this auction house. Then I got to go all the way to another city and level up my heal spell. And then I got to go and even if I kill a couple things on the way, I'm not grinding. I'm not trying to outpace my friends. I just, there were some dudes in the streets of Division, and I had to kill them in order to get to that house so I could pick up the quest so we could play tonight.
Yeah. I really liked the Division. But yeah, I'm stoked for Anthem, man. It looks really good. Oh, so those are really satisfying damage numbers.
Yeah, they're good looking. The everything has been shown to be scalable on the PC, which is nice. So people were saying, I don't like the damage numbers. Like, well, you can turn them up, you can turn them down, you can turn them off. And they put out some good comments about that.
Yeah, they did look a little large, but overall, it just looks satisfying, man. Yeah. And I'm with you. Bullet sponginess just makes more sense when you're fighting monsters versus humans with real guns.
Well, and the combo system, which is something that is missing from Destiny entirely, yes?
Yeah, there's no... any game I've played where there are combos, they've never actually told you straight up or had like a crit text pop that says combo.
Right. There's something to that. Even just seeing, power infusion hit you when you're a mage, and you're like, "Hey, priest got my back. All right, this is dynamic." It gives you that excitement, and I love that about the Marvel games too. And I love it in my own D&D games right now. There will be dungeons. Just finding out. We haven't figured out one for Kristen not yet because she uses guns and I'm the barbarian. Like, am I gonna throw her and then she shoots in the air? We haven't figured that one out yet. But we've got some good comp. Like Scott will enlarge me, so I'm a giant barbarian.
She needs a rocket launcher and learn how to do a rocket jump, and you can throw her so that she gets higher.
That'd work.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. But yeah, it's my skepticism is cracking with Anthem. It just kind of looks like a game I want to play now.
Yeah, and there's so much mobility that it seems like the fights could be, really interesting as the game goes on.
Yeah, I like how much space there seems to be in the fights. Like how much distance you can travel quickly, and kind of utilize the level design. The level design looks very interesting. But I'm a sucker for anything that's overgrown. So
yeah, I'm a sucker for like in XCOM, you'll land on these certain levels and like all the plants look really alien. I'm like, ooh, oh, it's corrupted, it's the creep, it's infested, infestation. Just love it.
Well, there's not much going on in the news that's nerdy, man. I mean, it's pretty quiet for video games outside of the Anthem gameplay. Pretty quiet for movies because we're kind of hitting the end of summer here. I mean, Ant-Man came out. I didn't see it.
I've heard it's fun and suspend your disbelief, but that was the first one too. Like just ants doing things that they wouldn't have the intelligence to do.
Actually, I think a poll is up right now for Embrace the Spoilers, so I may be seeing it. I just don't know yet.
It looks fun. I didn't take myself to the theater for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I will only go out of my way if that's ends up being what we're going to cover for Embrace the Spoilers. I'm not that hyped for it, but we'll have to see. On Marvel though, have you been keeping up with the Thanos did nothing wrong subreddit?
I heard about this. So he actually like set up a thing that would ban half the subscribers to it.
Yeah, they've decided that it should be happening today. It may have already happened. I checked this morning, and there didn't seem to be any conclusive evidence that it had happened yet. But this is just if you're unfamiliar with the subreddit, it's a subreddit for basically shit posting about how awesome Thanos is, and they've decided that they're going to ban half of their members.
That's fantastic.
Yep. Josh Brolin even got involved. Yep. It's this is how the internet should work.
It's a fabulous celebration of the nerdiness of it. And compared to just what's going on in Star Wars right now, it just feels so innocent and beautiful.
What, is it just a love for Thanos?
Yeah, I feel like people, disagreed maybe with, how the movie was, if he was a decent bad guy and stuff. But just the people who legitimately loved it, just love it. And hang out and enjoy it more.
Yeah, I'm with you. Star Wars has been so bizarre lately. I feel like I'm back in grade school.
Well, it's such a weird environment too, because right now you have this situation where we're hearing that there's going to be a big changeover of power, basically. That the company Disney is not pleased with the performance of Solo, and they wanted to perhaps gut the entire team. But the team was built by the higher-ups, so everyone is kind of loyal, going down. So they were like, J.J. Abrams, will you take over all of Star Wars? And he said no. Understandable, not only because that's scary stuff, and it can ruin your career just because the toxicity, if you will, of that fandom, but also because everyone from that top position downwards has been placed there by the person currently in power. And to come in and try to wrestle control of that and make a creative process work would just be really, really difficult.
Yeah, I mean, it's also, it's an interesting conversation. I don't mean to like kind of derail it with, asterisks, but none of this is official. This is all rumors and speculation, right?
Right, right. Like we are hearing that people outside the door were listening to Mickey Man. What's his name? Who's in charge of Disney right now?
Of Disney or Lucasfilm?
Disney.
I don't actually know. Who
I
is it?
forget his name.
Who's the head of Disney? I don't know offhand, but Lucasfilm is Kathleen Kennedy. It's Bob Iger. Oh my God, how did I forget Bob Iger?
Yes, Iger. Yeah. So the stories, the people like hearing through the door that he's like cursing the paint off the walls about how horrible the thing has gone. Like that's one side of the story.
This seems so blown out of proportion because it's one movie, and had they not had reshoots, it would have been profitable. They spent more on the movie than they should have because the production was in turmoil. That's why Solo is not turning a profit.
Sure, and that's arguing, profit too. And there you're not talking about like was it enjoyable and did it service the fan base and things like that I think normal people are interested in.
Yeah, I don't know. And Solo is just, it's so bizarre because to me it's a return to like safe Star Wars storytelling. Like there's no risk taken here. It's just a really fun romp in the Star Wars universe. Although at the same time, after seeing Jurassic World, I can't help but think had they put Chris Pratt in the role of Han Solo, that it would have done infinitely better.
Sure. I mean, I've heard, a lot of talk that just it wasn't good enough to be Solo. You also did, kill him. And so I'm done with that story. There's an ending. It's kind of the problem with Clone Wars in a sense. Like, oh my God, is Anakin gonna fall? It's like, well, kinda. Like the best episodes were not, is Anakin like falling? It was, are these three clones that have unique personalities going to make it out of this pit alive?
I don't feel like Clone Wars ever called into question whether Anakin was going to make it out of an episode or not.
No, I'm talking about the cartoon, the not Clone Wars, the clone.
No, I'm talking about the animated series. So I'm not sure I'm on the same page with you on that.
Sure, it wasn't like dangled, They didn't. But have you watched the darn Darth Maul arc yet? In that with the.
Have I watched the Darth Maul arc in Clone Wars? I've seen every episode 3 times.
Okay.
I've watched the entire series 3 times.
Okay.
Why?
Oh, just because the Emperor and the fight there, it was awesome.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
There's
so much to enjoy outside of Anakin's story.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah. So I don't know. I don't get the over examination of Solo and why it's this big thing. Because other than that, the new Star Wars movies has done gangbusters. Force Awakens and Last Jedi were runaway successes in the box office, and Rogue One did very well as well. So it's just Solo, and the thing is, budget was bloated because of issues with production.
Sure, I think there you're battling a lot of people's preconception that it was going to be bad. So, and plus, like, a lot of people didn't see it, so they used those numbers to argue for something they didn't watch in the first place. And I mean, that's why I'm, walking careful right now because I didn't see it, So I don't want to comment on its entertainment value. For me, it's what Mark Hamill recently said in that George Lucas came to the movies with the story planned out, even if it was, Harry Potter book 1 and Harry Potter book 7. And she's like, I know generally what's going to happen. I haven't written it yet. Like, I don't expect George Lucas to like have dropped the Bible and been like, poof, there it is. Like, that's apparently what the Avatar Last Airbender guy did. That's nuts. Never happens. No one's ever thought that far ahead.
Oh yeah, the Avatar story is nuts. But at the same, it's like I've heard that story about Star Wars, but how true is it? Because A New Hope, like, the whole reason the Death Star blows up at the end is because he didn't know if he was going to get to make another movie or not. And sure. 2 and 3 still had to pivot and bend to the will of what the hell they made in the first film, which wasn't the plan all along.
Right.
So it's not even that perfect of a narrative.
That's true. That's a great point. And I respect that. And I find that to be a better movie when those things are done. And when you cliffhanger too hard, I'm thinking of things even like the Harry Potters that were split in half, Twilight that I watched because I was doing podcasts at the time that were covering that sort of thing.
Oh, Jesus Christ, you poor soul. Oh yeah, you split movies in half drives me bananas, man.
So for me, I originally said back when we first talked about, The Force Awakens, that it would depend on 2, and I didn't like 2. And now I'm out, and I don't care. And that's fine. And that I can imagine and reconstruct movies and things in my head as hard as I want to enjoy the things I enjoy and just forget about all the parts I may not be enjoying.
Overall, I like the movies so far. That's all of this extraneous outward discussion that is just winding me.
Well, and winding is a good word, because when people argue about something being financially successful, I don't care. We're talking win rates. Like, do you love the hero? And did you love the movie? Well, it was financially successful. No. Like, did you enjoy yourself? Yes. Cool. I'm glad you did.
Yeah, and we're not completely off the same page. I mean, the further away we get from The Last Jedi, the more I realize it is the last Star Wars movie I want to rewatch. It's just, especially of the new ones, it's just like, I think half of it's really good, and I think half of it is kind of lame, and I don't want to revisit it. So it's strange. I don't know. Star Wars is interesting right now, but I find I see Solo as this like confusing beacon that I don't think it should be. I think they just need to chalk it up to, this didn't work, so just don't do that again. Like, figure out what the hell movie you want to make, and maybe don't bring in experimental directors who don't work the way you like them to work and expect something different.
Yeah, that's another weird choice they've made. But you've got a news article here about Kerry Russell?
Yeah, Kerry Russell is rumored to be in early talks about joining the cast of Episode 9.
And she excites?
Oh, it's just the first casting rumor that has come up for Episode 9, which the obvious thing is always is it Rey's mom? Like, who knows?
Oh, right, yeah, every time, yeah.
Every time anyone gets cast, is it one of Rey's parents comes up. But yeah, it's just, to me, I'm just like, oh, cool. So we're gearing up. We're turning the machines on for Episode 9. It's the only non-analytical announcement for Star Wars in a while here.
So last one was 8?
Yeah, Last Jedi was Episode 8.
Okay.
Force Awakens Episode 7. Return of the Jedi is Episode 6.
So we're not getting that this Christmas?
No, next Christmas.
Oh, I didn't realize we were waiting so long.
Well, it's only because Solo was earlier than our modern Star Wars films have been. Force Awakens, Rogue One, and Last Jedi all came out in December. I believe they were all also delayed. They were all aiming for a May release, I believe. Maybe Last Jedi was the first one when they were like, yeah, we're not making it. I can't remember exactly. But, so new Star Wars has kind of become a December thing. And that's another thing I kind of throw at Solo. I'm like, we just saw Last Jedi. We're all still talking about Last Jedi. Why don't you just push Solo, man? Give us some more time. Because that is going to be a long break between Star Wars films. Which is funny. Like, if you look at the history of Star Wars films, saying a year and a half is a long break is insanity. But in modern senses, now we've got... I mean, imagine if someone said there's going to be a year and a half break between Marvel films. That would seem crazy.
Certainly. So, I mean, I'm still not over the fact that they're planning more after Thanos does his business.
Yeah. Yes.
Don't stop the machine. It's printing money, and there's more than enough characters to do. But, whew, I mean, I've been signed up for this for 10 straight years. I want to see an end, and don't tell me there's more after it. Like, for now, just you gotta let me breathe.
You didn't read comics growing up, did you?
No.
All right, because that's how comics work.
I mean, I've always had and this is from a DM perspective. There are so many DM games I wish I had ended. but I kept going after that first Save the World. And things get too portally. Things get too, we got to go save the universe, the multiverse. And when you get in the multiverse, things just get kind of stupid. And that's my relationship to WoW Classic as well. Like, we are not where the history happened to me, Warcraft 3. I don't know where I am anymore. I don't know why I should be saving this place.
Well, it's a double-edged sword, I think, to a certain degree. I think Marvel is has the benefit of having such strong standalone characters, and we're introducing new ones down the line. Like, we still haven't gotten the Captain Marvel movie. There's going to be new characters. So even after the kind of galactic insanity that will be in Infinity War wrapping up, we're going to have new characters, and you can almost think of it as a new arc, even if it is coming after what came before it. We get these kind of smaller standalone stories. I mean, that's what's happening right now with Ant-Man and the Wasp, right? Like, and that's where I'm saying it's a double-edged sword. It's like that is not a movie about saving the world, or even dealing with the events of Infinity War, because it took place before, and so that's probably a good thing and shows, I think, restraint on the side of the MCU. But it also makes me go, well, then I don't care, and I don't really care to go see it. Like, I'll watch it eventually, but there's no fire under my ass to go see Ant-Man.
That's a good point. Yeah, there's no importance for you to get it in before you see other things. Yeah, solid. Good argument. Well done.
Yeah. So I'm just, I don't know. I have confidence. Like, overall, like, Marvel's got some really strong standalone characters. Let's see what happens from here on out. And I'm not, and I feel like Guardians and Thor, like Thor, especially Thor, is just finding its voice. Like,
yeah,
after its third movie and fifth appearance, if you count now there's there's 3 Thor movies now, and there's 3 Avengers films that he was in, so we've got 6 Thors entirely. But Thor Ragnarok is really where I think Thor kind of found its voice. So I want more Thor. Make more Thor movies, please. Don't end that.
Yeah, it's fascinating to think that even in Ultron, Thor didn't have a fight style, and that's crazy. When you think about Captain America booking it on that boat.
What do you mean, Kyle? You mean spinning your hammer isn't a fight style?
Right, you just spin it as hard as you can, and it throws you, and then you fight with it and call it back. Like, really, that opening scene, and I will say the same thing for the most recent Last Jedi, because that opening scene, man, when they're piloting the X-wing like it's a frickin' drift car, like that stuff was good, and I ate it up because finally the stylistic look to different pilots and how they chose to operate. And not until that Thor Ragnarok opening scene where he was spinning the hammer, but actually kind of like having fun with it, was I really like, okay, Thor, I'm on board.
And then the balls of that movie to just be like, all right, are you in? Hammer's dead.
Yep.
Because
we evolved this fight style even further.
Yeah. Oh, God. Ragnarok. So I've just recently rewatched Ragnarok for the first time since I saw it in the theater. That's a good movie. That's a really good, fun movie.
That's good to hear, because I was watching, I've been watching people be pretty down on Ready Player One, and I had a good time in the theater. I didn't think it was great, but now that people are starting to see it outside the hype zone, it's getting kind of panned.
Yeah, and I'm kind of like, Ready Player One, man, it's just a fun movie. If you're there looking for anything other than a theme park ride, you're going to be disappointed. Yeah. That's the only place it excels, is in its Spielberg set piece spectacle. Everything else about it is lame. The dialogue writing is terrible.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty easy for me to connect with a profound sense of teenage loneliness. So you don't have to work hard to be like, the guy's kind of lonely. I'm like, yeah, I'm there, man. But it's sometimes it's not even the movie. Like, I kind of want to see Jurassic Park now because I was walking through Walmart the other day, and those toys were real good. Not dino damage level, but like press the back and the thing would bite.
I haven't seen the new Jurassic World toys, so they're living up to the lineage of rad Jurassic Park toys.
Yeah, pushing the Stegosaurus plate and the tail goes, and I guess it's not a Carnotaurus. I think it was like an Allosaurus or something. Did they have a Carnotaurus in there? Is that even a real dinosaur? Or did they make that up for Disney?
Carnotaurus is a real dinosaur, and it is in Jurassic World too.
Okay, yeah, so they had a good one, and it would bite, and it would make a noise, and it was a sweet toy.
I'm totally image searching Jurassic World toys. Oh, they got a Mosasaurus. They got a new T-Rex that looks actually quite different from the one I had as a child. Oh, this stuff's great. Do you know what you're making me want to do now, Kyle? Is go on eBay and try and find original Jurassic Park toys. Oh, I want some of those around my room. That'd be rad. I need to go find the original T-Rex.
I had some good Raptors. They came with the chains too, right? Like, yeah, so you could lock them up.
Oh, I had one of those. Those Lost World had the chains because they had all the Dino Hunter gear stuff.
He only just died. I was cleaning out doing spring cleaning. I found my Raptor. His battery finally went, but he used to go when I needed to open his arms.
At some point, I need to I don't know. I need to like put some thought into why I give certain movies leniency and why I'm very harsh on others. But like Ready Player One and Jurassic World, like I've said, like the first Jurassic World is one of the most supremely stupid movies I've ever seen, and yet I'll keep watching it because it's just fun. And like Ready Player One, like man, that is some prequel quality dialogue in that movie, but I don't care. But I also watched prequels, so I don't know. It's I haven't figured out why I'm leaning on some movies and not on others.
I think a lot of it comes down to the actors for me, the believability of the scenes and the characters in it. Because Ready Player One, the main villain was okay, but he had, the power gamer, the super nerd, what I thought was Jack Black for the whole damn film.
Oh, no, it's T.J. Miller.
I know. And I was like, damn, Jack Black did such a damn good job in that. And I was like giving him mad props. I was really excited for the guy. Walked out of there just stoked on Jack Black. I wanted to go see Tropic Thunder again.
Yeah, no, that was T.J. Miller, which I think actually was perfect casting for the character in the book.
Well, and the dude, the inventor of the world, the eccentric programmer, just sold me. And that's the same thing as you guys want to see it, Independence Day doctor. Like everything around him isn't the best, but like when he shows up, he sells it. And that's what Ian McKellen, that's what all these, that's what sci-fi actors do. That's why I love XCOM 2 so much, because they got Star Trek actors and Mass Effect actors to do the lines, and voice acting is so crucial. And if it's flat, it's just none of it's believable.
Yeah, I'm with you there. With the exception of we're talking exclusively Independence Day 1, right? Because in Independence Day 2, someone decided that doctor was a main character, and it was one of the worst things about the movie.
Well, they brought him back, and he shouldn't have been alive, and he didn't have enough chops to carry that big of a role.
I think Resurgence is the worst movie I've seen in the last decade. I think that wins for me. That's the movie that I hate. I hate it. I want my money back. I want those 2 hours of my life back.
The president saved the world, right? And then kind of like went nuts. And to me, when you kind of pull that sort of thing, you're doing the whole, and they broke up since the last movie. And you're like, why? They fell in love in the last movie. I don't need this. And, to Incredibles 2 credit, like there was no trouble at the homestead. Like nobody was divorcing.
Yeah, Joss and I were talking about on Embrace of Spoilers that we were just like, the whole movie we were just worried, like, oh, this could so easily go down that road, and it doesn't.
Just useless drama.
Yeah, exactly.
And I barely cared about the kids' relationship in Transformers in the first place. By 2, when there's trouble in paradise, I am just out.
Yeah, so I don't know. I guess I'm trying to think about it now. I'm putting my head into it, and I feel like my leniency for Jurassic World is that they changed the title, and like whereas like if they came out a couple years ago when Jurassic World was coming out and announced like we're remaking Jurassic Park, we're doing a remake, I would be as critical as one person could be about a Jurassic Park remake. But because they're just like, it's Jurassic World, we got Chris Pratt, there's some lady running around in high heels, it's a movie. This is a Jimmy Buffett cameo. Enjoy it. I'm just like, yeah, why not?
There's a Jimmy Buffett cameo?
This is Jimmy Buffett cameo in the first Jurassic World. When all the flying pterodactyl, flying dinosaurs are attacking and the whole park is losing their mind. At the Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville, there's a man with sunglasses that picks up 2 margaritas and tries to run away without spilling them. That's Jimmy Buffett.
Oh.
You didn't know this?
No, that's useless.
Yeah.
Well, that's funny.
Yeah, it's a Jimmy Buffett cameo. Great. Yep. But I think that's what it boils down to. That being said, I would actually be kind of excited about a Jurassic Park remake if they tried to do like a 1-to-1 to the book film. Because the movie is very different from the book, and they're both incredible. I think the movie is an almost perfect movie, and I think the book is, A+, God tier level Michael Crichton.
Yeah, the very edge of action and sci-fi Michael Crichton, where the two were still married in a sensible way.
Yeah, because I remember trying to read The Relic, and I'm like, this is not nearly as good.
No, or that Andromeda Strain. I did the movie and the book, and the book was a bit better, but
yeah, Jurassic Park. That's like I said, that's peak Crichton as far as I'm concerned. But shall we take some questions before we end?
Let's do that.
Cool. You can write into emovtv@gmail.com if you want to send an email into Weeksauce, or you can tweet at me the morning before we actually record this, at Garrett Art on Twitter. Ocularis writes in and says, I've been a fan, an emove.tv listener for a couple of years, but just started listening to Weeksauce. It is like 2 old friends having a conversation over a beer, and I am greatly enjoying being able to listen. Well, we don't usually drink beers, but it's usually over coffee. It's usually over coffee. I know from listening to other podcasts that Kyle has been working out quite a bit, trying to stay healthy. Garrett, I know you are as well. I work out 3 to 4 days a week and have maintained a constant weight for the last 3 years, plus or minus a few pounds. The problem is I want to lose more, but I struggle in the healthy eating area. I break too easily for sweets and chips. So how do you control temptation? Is it just strong will, or do you have alternatives to sweets that you eat? I know I can Google this and find a ton of websites, but I wanted to ask 2 down-to-earth normal guys. Thanks, Ocularis. Wait, Garrett does not like gamer tags. No, I don't like it in esports where we're trying to take shit seriously. If this is how you show up in our chat room, this is totally fine, because that's how I know who you are. I do not have strong will. I break and snack all the time. I'm a big snacker. I have recently, at the suggestion of you, Kyle, picked up an air popper for popcorn, and that helps a lot, but it's still not perfect. Really, the best advice I can give is just don't buy snacks. If it's not in the house, you can't eat it.
I mean, for me, it's fiber. Like, fiber is the best thing ever if you were on any sort of diet. It is literally undigestible content. It is plant matter, ideally. I guess there's probably artificial fiber, but it is stuff that your body is using to, for lack of a better word, kind of scrape you. It fills you up. Popcorn is amazing. It's got fat on it. It tastes great. It's got that salt that your body might be craving, but for the most part, it's just fluff that your body can't do a thing with, but you will feel very full, and you won't have room for all those sweets. The toughest thing here is the reality of rewarding yourself. That's where these things get really rough, when you use those chips and those sweets as the carrot on the end of the stick. And when you work out as much as you are right now, finding that carrot can be really difficult. And for me, a lot of my motivation to eat properly, and in my case, eat more, is because I don't want to have wasted my time in the morning workout. The last thing I want to be doing is getting up an hour and a half earlier than I have to, so that I don't gain anything out of it. And that motivates me to go. I mean, these shakes I drink taste awful, but I'm going to keep having at them because they work. They add to the bulk, and I don't want to be wasting my time.
Yeah, I think thinking of it as a like resource management is the best way I've gotten my brain around it. Actually calculating the calories in things that I regularly consume, and just coming to the hard realization that if you want to stay at a certain weight or lose weight, that a combination of taking in X amount of calories and exercise is the only way around it. So at the moment, I'm pretty much just keeping at a certain level because I'm just still having a hell of a time dieting. I just get bored. I get bored eating the same crap over and over again. I want something different. My biggest issue right now is just something to fill me up with dinner, because I have a meat, I have a vegetable. I just need something else, and potatoes it's just more carbs and calories than I need, but I'll be full after dinner. And same thing with rice. And I've tried so many different things. But I'm getting off topic. But the main thing is like how you're like, oh no, I'm getting up early. I just don't want to waste all of the work I just did. And for me, it's we enjoy our cocktails. If you've listened to my solo show, you've probably listened to me excruciatingly break down how to make certain cocktails that I'm very excited about. And I like to have a cocktail 4 nights a week. Not 4 cocktails in a night, but like one. At the end, I love after dinner, I'm ready to relax, sit down, watch a movie, binge some shows on Netflix, something like that. My favorite thing to do is go in the kitchen, get all my stuff out, make my little alchemist kit, and just spend the next 10 to 15 minutes crafting something awesome and then sitting down and enjoying it. And because of that, I've actually looked at the calories in these drinks, and most of them are very high. Very high in calories. I'm actually very surprised how low in calories bourbon is. I would have thought it would have been nuts, but it turns out not too bad.
Not too bad. That's probably mostly alcohol, not sugar.
Well, that's the thing. Gin is worse, and I really don't understand why. I need to. If anyone out there understands why bourbon has less calories than gin, explain it to me. Because to me, I think of bourbon as being the sweet liquor, and gin as being the kind of like one step removed from vodka and how harsh it can be. And I don't understand the science behind it.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of misconceptions, you could say, but also just like really bad word usage. Like the thing that upset me the most when I was figuring out healthy eating was superfoods. That buzzword, and it doesn't really come up too much anymore. Maybe I don't shop at Whole Foods anymore, so I don't see it. But like, superfoods is such a craptastic phrase, because what it should really mean is McDonald's, is soda. That should be a superfood, because they are so calorie dense that like if I were to skip all my meals in the day and I gotta catch up, like I can have fried chicken. That's fine. It's not going to pad me out for a week. It pads out today because I'm trying to bulk. So when you start thinking of things like that, like this actually, like how could this? I don't think it's the fast foods restaurants anymore that's destroying the health of America. It's Starbucks, because you are liquidating that much sugar and making it a super dense product, but you don't believe it is because it's a drink. It's a liquid and it passes through you fast. And why would this actually be that calorie dense? So
yeah.
So find those things that are, both, hearty with fiber is a great way to find that. And then have that bit of the calories that you're looking for. And for me, like Fig Newtons are fantastic. And they make other flavors. I know not everyone's into figs. Like the raspberry ones are what I'm on right now because I got damn sick of the fig ones.
I find them disgusting and unpalatable.
Well, give it a year, right? Like, there's a certain time your body hits where it goes like, yeah, I wanted all those other things, like dark chocolate, right? You love milk chocolate, maybe, but dark chocolate, hey, it's still chocolate, and it's a bit better.
Yeah, we have quite a bit of dark chocolate in the house now because I can have like one little brick, and it kind of kicks the sweet tooth away. Like I'm good. I can't like cram dark chocolate like I can cram milk chocolate, which also helps. But for me, it just comes down to I want to have my cocktail, and so I can't snack. Like I'm allowed X amount of calories. I don't want to waste it on some potato chips.
Yeah. Well, and that's why veggies are so good, because it's ridiculous, but they are so full of vitamins that's taking up the space. Vitamins and fiber take up all the space there. Whereas in your favorite sweets, it's nothing but those sugars and calories that are making up that cookie.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. And for me, like, by the way, neither of us are nutritionists, and you should take anything that we say here with a giant grain of salt and actually talk to a professional. But like I just eat like a normal human being on the weekend. We go out. If I'm out somewhere, I just eat. I eat what I feel like. But during the week, we cook all our own meals, and it's very carb light, if carb at all. But Kyle and listeners, if you have a suggestion for anything other than squash noodles to help fill me up with dinner, let me know. We tried cauliflower rice,
Oh,
and it's god freaking awful.
yeah. Yeah, Kristen does that stuff. I'm not on board.
It's the worst, man. Like I can do it. I can make it through it, but as a weekly replacement, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. I can have it once a month.
It is an unforgettable flavor, and it'll last you a lifetime, in my opinion. The smell, it smells like it tastes, and I'm done before it even reaches my mouth.
Yeah, but we've found success in corkscrewing our own butternut squash into noodles. I actually legitimately enjoy it. It's very good. Spaghetti squash is disgusting and does not work. It is not, in my mind, it is not it does not work as like a bed for my chicken.
No.
But butternut squash, pretty damn tasty when you throw it in the oven. At least it's working out for me.
No, and we got a rice cooker, and that helped out a lot. And actually get one at Goodwill, because every college kid wants a rice cooker because they watch anime, and then they never eat rice because they always eat out. Like, you can find one for like dirt cheap at a Goodwill.
So wait, just brown rice?
Yep, brown rice is the best. Has that fiber content, but white rice is fine. And again, like, I'm eating spaghetti right now. Like, this is not. I'm not trying to lose weight, so I'm kind of in that weird in between where I have to put on pounds. I just want to make sure that it doesn't transform straight into fat. So I don't eat the fatty stuff. Like, I want to buy a grinder right now for meat, because the fat content in any sort of ground meat is too much, and it destroys me. I hate it. I hate having heartburn, and I get it so easily because I just don't participate in fatty foods.
Are you doing specifically beef, or have you tried stuff like ground turkey?
I've tried the turkey too, and that upsets me as well.
Really? Okay. Wow, you are sensitive. You're a sensitive man.
I am. But yeah, I think it's also like the lactose intolerance. I just don't get exposed to a lot of, and that cuts out all cheese. So the amount of fats like that go into my body are pretty low, just because. And now, oh my God, oh dude. Like, this is worth saying to anybody out there who's listening and 30 and going, why do I have acne? Like, corn syrup, like, all these things that you do to yourself decrease your hydration, and it's so stupid. Like, it sounds so like the earth is 70% water or whatever, and so is your body. You need to respect like your ratios. Like, but it's true. Like, I'm over 30 now, and I was getting acne, and it was just because of corn syrup and too much coffee and not enough water in the damn day. And cutting out corn syrup and going down to one coffee a day fixed that. And that's stupid.
Yeah, I'm lucky in that I don't feel addicted to coffee. Like, I'm fine with one a day, but I have friends where if you told them, yeah, just go down to one coffee a day, it'd be like if you just told them to, yeah, just get rid of your legs. You don't need them.
Sure, or anything else. I'm covered in bugs and hiding in the corner. Like that. It is an addiction, and getting lower on coffee is rough for many people.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's interesting, but yeah, I also just, like I mentioned, I cheat sometimes and have to get back on the horse, and that's fine. But the thing that helped me the most was just not having it in my pantry. The first big thing was like 5 or 6 years ago. We decided no more soda in the house, and we have kept soda out of this house for 6 years, and that helps a lot. I still have soda. Like, if I go out on the weekend, like, I'm having some unhealthy food, I will have a Coke. Like, it's not like I never have it, but I was drinking 2 to 3 sodas a day, and that's no longer the case. Now I have 2 to 3 sodas a week.
Yeah, and those are the superfoods. Those are, like, those Starbucks drinks are 500 calories, and that's a meal. And that's can I say it again? That is stupid as hell. It is a drink. That shouldn't be real. The sun shouldn't give you cancer. Like, all these things should not exist.
I love you, just being against facts.
There are aspects of reality that are so ridiculous that I have trouble fathoming them. But I pay for insurance now, and I get it. But it's my body, and it's all I have at the end of the day. Why would I have to insure it? But I get it.
Yeah. Yeah, and just don't stop. If you can stick to that 3 to 4 days a week working out, like, just don't stop. Because, like, at the end of the day, at least you're still working out. Like, I feel not nearly as bad when I fall off the horse, as long as I'm not falling off the workout as well, the exercise. whatever it may be.
And you need to have a performance time period too. Like there is no reason why you should always be top end rating, Masters League, whatever your game of choice is. There are times in the year where life slows down or that you want to perform. And bodybuilders, they have seasons because they'd be dead if they didn't, because the amount of like fat content in their body would kill them if they did that for over a week at a time.
Yeah. We mostly start like, I'm trying to think. I feel like March is usually when we get on the all right, it's time again to start, actively choosing what we eat in a healthy fashion and working out, because we always have our summer vacation, which is spent with our shirts off all the time.
Right. And then a lot of us nerds have BlizzCon too, that end up being kind of that crunch period.
Yeah, that's not for me. I go to BlizzCon fat.
I don't think anyone's judging you too hard.
I don't. Yeah, it's fine. And I get fatter while I'm there because Korean barbecue is a thing. But yeah, no, it sounds like you're doing all right, Ocularis. But I would say just curate your pantry.
Oh man, and celebrate what you do have. Like, oh my God, my insomnia, just my happiness, everything just went up when I started doing all this. It's just fantastic.
It turns out when you actually expend energy during the day, you sleep better.
Right? Who knew? That when you make your legs a little sore and then you sit in a chair all night playing XCOM, you feel freaking great about yourself.
Yeah. True Villain Manny tweeted us and asked, "What's on your bucket lists?" I don't really have one.
Yeah.
I don't think about life like that. I mean, there's definitely there's places I want to visit. Japan is highest on that list. New Zealand is very shortly underneath that list, and then just anywhere in Europe is under that.
Yeah, my brother-in-law and sister-in-law have been stationed for Japan this coming year, and man, I'm jealous of that. That's cool. Getting to live there for 3 years. Just embedding yourself. That's like, I want to do that in Europe. I've always wanted to do one of those things, learn another language more organically. But and it can be a thing. I've realized that. I'm working online here, and if I was willing to record at 10 p.m. at night, I could be in Europe.
Yeah. Keep me in mind if you decide to pull the trigger on that, though.
Sure.
Give me a heads up. Hey, Garrett, how do you feel about recording at 1 a.m?
Well, that's why I'd be up at 10 a.m., right? So maybe, or would it? That'd be your morning. Yes. So it'd be 10 a.m. at night, and it'd be like your noon?
You mean 10 p.m. at night?
Yeah, 10 p.m. Oh, am I saying a.m.?
Yeah. It would depend on where you are, but yeah. We can figure it out. But yeah, it's just mostly just like I really want to see Japan, really want to see New Zealand. If I went to New Zealand, Australia would just be mixed into that trip. So that's another place I very much want to visit, and it's on the way. And I just want to drive/train around Europe.
I think something I'd like to do, monster manual. I'd like to publish a monster manual.
Ooh, that'd be cool. That would be very cool. Katie and I really want. Have I explained to you? We don't talk cars very often. Have I explained to you the concept of a drift missile?
No.
We want to build a drift missile, and it's a cheap.
You just got flagged. I'm not sure what that is.
It's a cheap, craptacular car that you learn how to drift in, and so you're not worried about smashing it into a wall at a track.
Yeah.
That is something we very much want to do. 'Cause we really this is the first year we have watched every single Formula Drift event in order as like live as a sporting event. This is our 3rd year in a row going to the one in Florida, and it's just like, we want to learn how to do this. It looks extremely fun.
That's cool.
Yeah. So we've been, our evenings have been watching a lot of car videos on YouTube and getting kind of introduced to this kind of stuff, and we're like, damn, let's buy a crap Miata and just burn it up.
I've got one that I'm planning to do this year, which is a punching bag. I'm really excited about that one. Like, not because like I want to pursue boxing or anything, but I've just, like, in every workout I've read about punching bags, you're supposed to go for about 1.5 minutes really structured, and then the last half is just losing your mind. And I love it. I want that so bad.
Yeah, that just look satisfying.
Yeah.
I could go for one. I could go for one.
And you don't go big. Like, most people don't need anything over 60 pounds. Like, those big Captain America ones, those are ridiculous for anybody who's not a heavyweight.
Should look into that. I'd probably enjoy that. I have a lot of anger issues.
I mean, even so, getting a good forearm workout is tough. And a lot of the walls I'm hitting right now in my own weightlifting is because these arm muscles, the ones that you're working, are ready. But the forearms are not capable of holding that amount of weight.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think mine is mostly traveling, and all of it is gated by money. All of it. It's expensive stuff.
I would have outrageous bucket list for VR if there was a game I wanted right now. I'm watching that thing like a hawk.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's kind of my in-between on like having some type of crappy project track car is I really want to get a good wheel setup in the house at some point. I want to get a good, middle of the. I'm looking at there's a Logitech right now that I think it's just over $300 that I think is probably the right call as far as quality to cost. You can get crazy with gaming driving wheels, man.
Oh, like same with the mech setups, but you always just fight other mechs, and it's like some political turmoil kind of Star Wars thing. Like, I don't want to fight mechs. I want to fight kaiju. Like, when that game is done, I'm there with the foot pedals and the two-arm things and the hydraulics. Like, I am so in. Just give me something good to fight.
I'm with you on that. Yeah. But that's my in-between. At some point, I'm going to finally pull the trigger and buy a wheel, get a chair, get a little rig to actually bolt it all into.
Oh, it's like just like the VR. It's so like when you start thinking about it, it's like it's nothing you'd ever want to tweet out. All right, like you'd be like not riding it, right? Like maybe a picture of like your sweet setup, but you never want to like stream yourself in it. At least I wouldn't, but because that's all for me. That's not for you guys. This is all for me.
If I had a sweet driving rig, I think I'd stream. I think I would stream driving games. It's impossible. I did it once. It is impossible to interact with the chat while playing a driving game.
Makes sense.
You will fall off the mountain.
I now have Kristen as my co-pilot when I do Heroes because that chat was not getting talked to when I was playing a competitive video game in real time.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Well, before we end, we did get asked today by SPBR Fever. I don't know what that actually is. Speber Fever is what I'm going to call that. Who asked on Twitter how we met, how do we obtain this level of friendship goals, and we told this story on episode 10 of this show. I believe it is the last question of the episode if I keep good show notes, and I do. So it's the last. It should be at the very tail end of episode 10 of Weeksauce. We tell the story of how we met. Bad sleeping practices were part of it. It was college, So go listen to that. As to how do you obtain this level of friendship goals, I don't know. Get along.
Yeah, they mutual respect as well because we're not into the same stuff all the time.
No.
And that's fine, and that's fascinating, actually.
Yeah. The way you look at the world sometimes perplexes me, and I like it. It's fun. Talk to people you disagree with. But then also agree with. Basically, Blizzard. Blizzard is our touchstone. And before we leave, Kyle, I will ask, when the hell is Blizzard going to try one of these more modern online games in the vein of Destiny, The Division, or Anthem?
I mean, I feel like they have a lab, right, where they try all these things repeatedly. Certainly Overwatch is such a safe product, if you will, because of its kind of Team Fortress sort of roots.
Right.
So I know they aim for safety, but it's so crazy when you think about World of Warcraft and MMOs and like what they were going up against at the time. Like, there's an experimental division of Blizzard that just tries everything, racing games, fighting games, and science.
Yeah, I don't get it. I was watching that Anthem footage and I was like, why don't we just have a third-person Diablo that's this? Like,
that'd be cool.
I'd play the shit out of a third-person Diablo. Like, 'cause I think that's all you're waiting for. I was watching this. I'm like, I bet Kyle's liking this, but I bet if they just made a fantasy one of these, it's Kyle's new game.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't really see what the bad guys were outside the giant bug. Were they bugs? Were they people? I'm not actually sure.
The things that were far off, I couldn't really tell. They were fighting turrets at one point, so there's other mech-esque things it seems like you'd be fighting. But
Yeah.
spider creatures were really cool.
Yeah. I think Diablo is so rock and roll, and their willingness to just be like, yeah, I mean, what's in the room? Oh, they found a boar and they cut it open and its heart is on this half and we strung up the intestines in the shape of a demon star. Like, it's just like, cool, sweet, like crank it to 11. I love it.
Yep. Why not? But I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for Blizzard to be like, yeah, we've got one now, and you can all stop these other games because we figured it out.
Yeah, we could go tinfoil hat, though, that they won't because Activision is on the launcher now and they don't want to compete with themselves. And
Well, then they should do a better job on Destiny.
well,
Make a better
Touché.
Destiny. Well, all right. Keep those emails coming. amovetv@gmail.com. You can tweet at GarrettArt, at Kyle Ferguson. Questions as well if you want to get involved on the show. Get a question on here. But that's going to wrap it up for this episode. Before we go, Kyle, where can folks find the other wonderful stuff that you're doing?
you can find me right now over at twitch.tv/Kyle Ferguson, heading over there for my Heroes Morning show every day at about 10 a.m., playing Heroes Pacific time and having a good time. We're, of course, going to be spending today in Quick Match, Unranked. Y'all be crazy. Y'all sent me messages. I told you not to, but y'all sent me messages about how hard the games and how awful they were over the weekend. I warned you. I told you they'd be that way.
I believe you also said, just don't write me. Don't write me.
At me, bro.
You know what it's going to be like. If you go in, that's on you.
Yeah.
What they do, they went in and they wrote you.
Yeah. But many of them even said, I know you said so. And I acknowledge that, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, there's a lot of point. There's like self-aware humor involved there. But folks, I'm Garrett Art on Twitter. All of the podcasts that I do, including this one, can be found at amove.tv. Go check out that new Embrace of Spoilers with Jocelyn and I talking Incredibles 2. Spoiler alert, we really liked it. It's just a big gush fest about how awesome The Incredibles is as a film. So go check that out. We'll be doing the original Westworld film very soon. I believe that's going up later this week. And Into the Nexus on Thursday. Things are going to get a little crazy next week as I'll be leaving for vacation at the end of next week. So expect an earlier than usual Into the Nexus and maybe some other things to get squished. But we'll figure it out. That's going to do it for this episode. Thank you all for tuning in. Hope we helped you start your week off the right way. Until next week, good luck and have fun.
Take care.
I almost said job's done.
But they do get that twice a week, so you don't have to give them the good luck, have fun. You know, you're ruining the product, man. People said they needed that into the Nexus. Now they can get it here. You know, you're double dipping.
You say take care both places.
I do. I say that universally. So maybe I need, but I haven't heard from anybody that they require my taking of care.
Good luck and have fun is my outro on every show except Angry Chicken.
Okay.
And on like shows that I don't produce, which is the only one is The Instance, I just don't say anything. Scott just cranks that music up and it's over. Yeah.
Yeah, he does the for me, for you, for everybody.
Yep.
You,
Wait, where is it? Where's that end? I almost said job's done. There it is. There's the end of the show. Chat room, you've been great. Thank you.
Sweet. I'm off to my channel.
Enjoy. Have a good one, dude. See ya.
You too.
Oh. Burr, 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 burr. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna unplug some stuff here. Oh, that's okay, Goki Burry. You can just catch the podcast. We're gonna drop this down. I'm sick of standing. There it goes. Yep, there it is. There it is. All right. Boo-doo-doo-doo. I am gonna blip the stream real fast, but I'll be hanging out, talking to you guys for a few minutes while I edit. Don't go anywhere if you want to.